Hello, my name is Jen Ballou, and I am a holistic doula who practices from fertility into conception, pregnancy, birth, and beyond. So I practice holistically through the entirety of sacred sexuality. Did I mention I'm in Laguna Beach? I don't know. Anyways, I practice here locally as well as offer assistance to those who are outside of my location remotely. And I have this channel and I'm doing these videos just to, number one, have a place for me to share my own experiences, for me to share the experiences that I have with others on their journeys, a space for awareness, for building awareness, for creating community, for establishing truth, for social justice, social activism, and various other things all intertwined into one. So I'm quite ambitious, to say the least. So this video today, I wanted to share about my most recent birth experience with my clients. And the reason being is because it is something that can assist others in either processing through their own birth experience or in aligning to their ideal birth. Perhaps coming to decision points or choice points and then making those decisions. That's kind of where we're at with this. So on that note, I was attending a birth on Monday. These two clients are actually so I have been working with an agency, and these are like my first private clients, right? So I'm completely branching out on my own and establishing myself and my own brand, which is something I've been working on for a long time. But needing to at least having get my feet wet before I completely go out on my own. So these are like my first private clients. Really exciting, right? They're like, it's like, having a baby in a way. But so they I met Kortney through a hypnobirthing instructor here locally. I was working on my hypnosis sessions and integrating those into my birth work. My training, my hypnosis training was not specifically designed for birth work or designed for conception, but having my own experience with energy healing and creating my own modalities, I use that to kind of create a something new, right? Something new to offer my clients and to bring into my work. And so I was, getting some practice. And so I reached out to this hypnobirthing instructor, asking her to, offer up free sessions to some of her previous or those who have been in her class. And Kortney was one of my first victims, and so she wanted me as her doula. And I was really, really excited because, again, it was like my first private client, and this was, I don't know, maybe about 4 months ago, somewhere around there. And so we got to work. We had a great, these sessions that I do, they're called Sacred Light Guide, and they assist you in essentially, preparing you for birth, processing through past trauma, getting you prepared, right? Getting you prepared for what's coming up ahead. And so, and then along with, my other, normal doula offerings, you could say, she was very, very well prepared. She had, great hypnobirthing instructor. She had me. She had a great partner. Her mom was there. And, I was really, really excited for her birth. And so she went into labor early Monday morning, and everything had been going great. She kept me updated on her progress. Everything was progressing very well. No, nothing alarming. Very, very healthy. Very, very good progression. She was confident. She was empowered. She wanted this hypnobirth. She was completely aligned to it. There was no question about whether or not we were going to do something different. She was there with it. And I love that, because she knows what she wants, right? She knows what she wants, and she's not afraid to go after it. And it, makes my job a little bit easier too. So, she had great early labor. She ended up going to the hospital and already being at 5 centimeters. So that's a pretty good progression. 5.5, I believe. And then by the time I arrived, she was already at 6 centimeters. So definitely in active labor, progressing well, great surges, and good place to be. So when I arrived, it was, essentially just setting things up, starting to develop an understanding of what positions was best for her, how she was most comfortable, what she liked, what felt good. We were welcomed well at Hoag in Newport Beach is the hospital she birthed at. It was great. The nurses were great. There was one nurse who was, I think I got there around 4, and she was going off at 7. So we had her for about 3 hours. She was great. Next nurse that came in, amazing. I mean, just so much support right there with us, completely in support of hypnobirthing. I could not have, asked for more as a doula. And again, it made my job nice and easy. Kortney was amazing. She just kept progressing, listening to her body. It was, easy to guide her into certain positions. The nurse was very helpful as well, and kind of getting the baby, engaged. Kortney knew immediately when that baby was moving, getting ready to move, and the baby was engaged and ready to, start, coming down the canal, coming down the birth canal, ready to make his way earthside. So, the mood was perfect. Well, needless to say, Kortney's care provider, her OBGYN, was on vacation. Fine. You have to prepare for the unexpected during birth. Backup, who's the doctor's sister, couldn't make it either. So we're like, okay, we're OBGYN-less, right? And of course, she wanted a natural birth, so it was, So they had an on-call doctor who apparently, from what I gather, they were having a hard time getting a hold of him. And because the nurse was so supportive of the natural birth, we were going to wait until the baby is essentially crowning to bring in the doctor. So that way that, natural course can occur, and there wouldn't be, any interventions or anything like that. And baby was getting ready to come out. Couldn't find the on-call doctor. They ended up bringing in this wonderful woman of color doctor who totally, was in the vibe. She came into the space, honored the space, respected the space that Kortney had set up, that Kortney and her, partner had set up, that we had all, been working within, and that was working for the birthing mother. All of a sudden, somebody comes into this room. Right? Like he owned the place. Now, the baby's essentially, getting ready to crown, and this doctor comes in wanting to turn on the lights, loud, obnoxious, wanting to, essentially like he owned the place, right? Essentially pushed this woman doctor out of the way. I mean, not really pushed, but, pushed the doctor out of the way like he owned the place. And got down, like set up, put on the scrubs, everything that they put on, set everything down, and essentially started to tell, Kortney to push. She wasn't having a contraction. He's sitting there, push, push, push. And we all looked at him like, she'll push when she's ready. Now, all is well now, right? Everybody's processed through everything. But in that moment, it was just completely out of line, completely disrespectful, was not honoring Kortney's process, was not honoring birth, was not honoring a woman. It was disgusting, to say the least. It was not a pleasant experience, to say the least. It was not what I would have ever wanted for my client. And it could have ended up being very traumatic, very traumatic. I had not fully processed through it. Obviously, everything was still ongoing. But when I had left, that evening, I remember I felt depressed. And I remember thinking to myself, and this is what kind of triggered the whole process. I was like, why am I feeling depressed? And needless to say, it was the not honoring of a feminine in her power and in her birthing process. This doctor came in like he owned the show, and was just very disrespectful. And it was, it was not, I wish it would have turned out differently. And it's important to spread this awareness and to spread this information. So, number one, people who have had that experience, they can have their experience validated. I know for me personally, like it took me a long time to process through my own birth trauma, through my trauma that I experienced through my OBGYN, and, the shame I felt, or like I couldn't birth the way I had wanted to, or I didn't have a voice, and it was his show, right? It was his show. And so it's important to bring these things out into the open in order to have a discussion, in order to talk about these things, in order to change the way birthing is honored within a hospital setting, is honored within a community, is honored within this country, is honored worldwide. Things need to change. Not every birth is the same. You cannot come into a woman's space and like you own the show when you don't. That's her process. How dare you try and take that away from her? How dare you try and own it? It is not yours to own, doctor. So I just wanted to share that. Needless to say, there were, certain things that had unfolded, and mommy and baby are happy and healthy, and Kortney had a space to be able to process through this. I remember just looking in her eyes and just being there with her, because at that point there was really nothing that could have been done to reverse what already was playing itself out. Needless to say, I went to go see my clients today, so I could pick up the placenta, because she's doing a placenta encapsulation, and we're able to talk about it, and they're feeling really good. And Kortney had said something that was so beautiful, and she said, it's important to embrace the unexpected. And it's true. On your journey, embracing the unexpected is very important. And again, honoring the process. And I very, very am grateful for being a part of their birthing experience, as well as having a space to honor that. Not everything is light and love. Not everything is puppies and rainbows. And it is important to honor the entirety of the experience, which is what this channel is for. So, in addition, I did want to say that other than that on-call doctor, you know, it was a great experience birthing at Hoag Hospital in Newport. However, you know, honoring it all, there are certain things that must be brought out into the open regarding how birth is honored anywhere. And yeah, I think that is about it. So congratulations, Zach and Kortney. I am so proud of you, and I'm so grateful to be a part of your birth story. For all those who are joining and watching, if you would like to check out some of my work, please follow me on Instagram. I am at JuJu'be Doula. I'll post that below. If you're interested in any type of doula work, I do remote doula work. I'm here locally in Orange County and Laguna Beach. And I also offer remote healing sessions, hypnosis sessions, to assist you in a multitude of ways. So please check out my website, www.jujubedoula.com. And until next time, toodaloo.